I'm Joann Tyler.
I'm Venetta Davis.
Okay. It started about 10 and a half years ago.
And what's the name of your organization?
Missionaries of God. Okay. We went to church. It was the week of Thanksgiving. And my pastor said, we're going to feed the homeless people next year. Church was crowded. I'm sitting in the church saying, why do they got to wait a year to eat? I go home Sunday, I start to cry. Don't know what I'm crying about. Monday came, same thing, I'm crying. I was so confused. Tuesday came, still confused in my head and crying. Why do they gotta wait? Wednesday came, day before Thanksgiving, I was gonna cook dinner. And I called Venetta. I said, Venetta, let's make 6 plates and take it to the park and feed the homeless. Venetta said, I'm game. So we went to the park. We fed 6 homeless people sitting there. This guy named Gregory, we was leaving, and he said, Miss, will you mind feeding us in the evening? Because we are so hungry. We get 1 meal a day. And I'm saying to myself, I could tell him anything. I ain't coming back here. I said, yeah, we'll be back here. We're going to feed them. Went home. I'm going to make the story short. We've been doing it for 11 years.
Wow.
Well, the conditions are very, they can be very severe at times, because what's happening is that when you're living outside in the woods, you're up against the elements, plus you're up against situations of not being able to stay at a place and relax and constantly on your feet and moving around. Meaning that, for instance, when I was in the woods in a tent, when daylight comes, you really can't stay there, because what happens is that there's other people who sometimes it's not the best place to be throughout the day. It's just a place just to sleep in the night, and without a TV, without a toilet, without running water, without a shower, and sometimes even without a friend. It tends to, for lack of a word, almost break a person, and it's as though they, if you look at their face, they even sense that they look some sort of broken, and it's almost as though they continue as far as that, hey, they don't belong, or hey, I would say more or less that the sense of belonging, that when there's nobody around, and it just becomes very desolate. Life becomes very dull, to a point where it's a struggle just to stay alive, because there's really nobody around there to, as far as who's there to reach out a hand to say, hey, there's somebody out here who does care. And that, you know what, when there's too much of that happening in life, that can send a person in a place where no one should be. Send a word out there to people who are comfortable on their couches and watching their TVs and able to go through a refrigerator and get a cold drink. There's people out there who just don't have those options.
Right.
My situation is a little bit difficult, because I used to work for one store in Parsippany. I always got the best job I get in my life, and I had to quit because the store manager is not good. It's very, very bad. I mean, it's bad. Yeah, and especially with me. On me all the time, because I got 1 arm, and I'm Spanish, and you know. And then, well, I just got a little bit of money to pay for my room where I used to live in Parsippany, and after that, I just blow the money, paying rent and eating and everything. Yeah, I'm looking for a job. I got 1 arm, but that don't mean I can do things. I was a technician for valvoline, instant oil change. I can do tune-up, I can change spark plugs, I can change wires, I can change wiper blades, bulb lights in the car. I can do a lot of stuff.
Where sometimes a person feels like there's no real help that they're getting from anyone, and then I came across the Missionaries of God, in Dover, and I'm very thankful for that. That I could get a hot meal and a pair of clean socks, because being homeless, it's not having a pair of clean socks is huge, and some people just don't realize on just the little things that makes a big difference. Situation, it's more of that, you know, we're all here to be together as one and be as much supportive to one another as possible.
Great.
And to think, well, how about why not, if you can, please send some funding to the Missionaries of God to help people like myself and others to continue on our journey.
Great. Thank you.
This is just the beginning, because now what's happening, we're working together.
Yes.
This is what's lacking in the world. But now everybody is bonding. Everybody is working at. This is what the Lord wants. If the world will love one another as He did, it wouldn't be in the shape we had. You got people living next door, don't even know their neighbor name. They won't even speak to their neighbor. I've been here 20 years. I don't know who live over there. It shouldn't be like that.